Hi, I'm Todd Anderson.
And I'm Ross Merriam.
And you're watching the Versus series on StarCityGames.com. Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to another Versus video. Todd Anderson here with Ross Merriam.
Yeah, we got a little shift. We've been focusing a lot on Standard because of the release of Eldritch Moon, and now we can finally see what Eldritch Moon does in Modern.
Yeah, we just got finished with SCG Regionals. This weekend, we're actually going to be heading to SCG New York. Is it
Syracuse?
Syracuse?
Little upstate New York action.
What's the difference?
Upstate New York is the northern part of the state.
Oh. Well,
but
I mean, I don't say like Southwest Virginia or wherever we're at.
Well, the deal is that New York City is very different than upstate New York. Upstate New York's very rural, very folksy, and New York City is the hustle and bustle of the big city.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that. But I'm ignorant in the ways of the north.
But the upstate people get really particular about it. The New York City people just call anything outside the city upstate New York. Huh. But the upstate people are like, no, the upstate New York is really near Syracuse and Rochester might not even be upstate New York. I don't really know. But it has to be basically
is this what
Canada.
All videos with Ross are like? He just talks a lot. This is only my second video with Ross, so.
Yes, it is. You should have done your homework.
Why?
Or just talk to Majors and have him shake his head.
All right. Well, in preparation for SCG New York, Syracuse this weekend, we're going to be playing a lot of Modern all week. I think we're going to have 4 videos up for you guys to check out. A lot of different decks coming out the woodwork ever since the release of Eldritch Moon. Spellqueller making a little bit of a splash, but also the hit that I really want to see, Jeff Hoogland was playing with Eldritch Evolution.
Yeah, and I'll be piloting Eldritch Evolution later in the week. You guys can come back and check that out. But for today, we got Spellqueller in the 5-color aggro deck that a couple weeks ago made the top 8 of the Classic in Columbus in the hands of Jack Rumpf.
Make Drumpf great again.
Make Modern Rumpf again.
Oh. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
You win. I'm going to be playing Michael Kinney's version from SCG Baltimore, the Classic. I actually played against him in the next to last round of Swiss, and then he went on to win his very last round to make top 16, where I lost my last round and also made top 16. Yeah, it was a little upsetting.
It's like the two ends of the top 16 spectrum. One feels good to win that last round.
Yeah.
Always feels good to win the last round of a tournament.
It does. Yeah, so I'm going to be playing his version of 5-color aggro, which is very similar to Jack Rumpf's version. What are you playing today?
I am playing boring old Jeskai. Figure we got a pile of creatures. We're going to see how they do against a pile of removal spells. It's always good to test the sort of new deck, a little untuned and sort of unproven deck against one of the now stalwarts of the modern metagame. Jeskai sort of fell out of favor for a while, but Nahiri has reinvigorated the archetype. And
yeah, I mean, it was actually really awesome to see a couple months back Team Metagame Gurus just dominating the tournament with Jeskai and Nahiri right after... I think it was the first big modern event after Nahiri was printed. It was
Peter Ingram.
Yeah, people were talking about the deck a lot, and Nahiri plus Emrakul, but no one really had like a set-in-stone list. Jerry had written an article or two about it, and it looked really good on paper.
Yeah, and he played the deck at the Mox Finals.
He did. But yeah, that's going to be the matchup today. I'm going to just be trying to slam a bunch of creatures into play and hope that they're good enough. Ross is going to be trying to kill everything until he can set up a Nahiri plus Emrakul. So it should be fun. It should be a race. And one of the best things about Modern is even though Ross is playing a control deck, the games don't really take that long most of the time. Decks close games pretty quickly in Modern, so this should be a short and sweet one. Hopefully there's a lot of back and forth, and hopefully I kick the absolute shit out of Ross.
Hopefully I win. All win all the time.
All right, here we are for the 7-11s game to see who goes first. Roll 7, you lose. 11, you win. If you roll an 11 while the other person rolls a 7, you get to go first all 5 games.
3. Jesus.
Keep your dice on the table, Ross. Jeez. All right, I died. Oh, we both tied. Oh, we got to go again. That doesn't happen too often.
Happens 1/36 of the time. Getting too aggressive with these dice.
I swear, I rolled a 7. You win. Just stop.
I could roll a 7 again.
Yeah, whatever. Well, I think this is the type of hand that this deck really wants to open with. We have a Mana Accelerator, which is good, and a lot of threats to start putting on the table, and they all have very diverse abilities, which is nice.
Good. I'm going to go to 17, get a Hallowed Mountain, cast the Serum Visions.
You can learn a lot from a person's hand playing a deck like Jeskai just by how they fetch their lands. Hallowed Fountain on turn 1 probably means that he already has a blue-red land in hand, or perhaps a red-white land.
That's a good one. And this doesn't really have anything to target right now, and we have a decent number of lands, so I'm going to bottom both.
All right. Noble go.
That's lucky.
Play so many.
Whew. Yeah, let's just go ahead and bolt that.
Tilt. Aw. Go. Not having a turn 2 play when your mana creature dies is
Go to 15.
not great.
And I'll pass the turn.
Draw step.
Keep going.
All right.
Pretty sure that Todd has a million 3-drops, so taking one of them with this click probably doesn't do anything.
That's probably true. Try that. Something that can't be snap bolted. I think passing the turn was...
That's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
On your end step, I'm going to V-click myself.
Sure.
Get the Spell Pierce out of my hand.
Smart. I don't have very many targets for that.
Yeah, Spell Pierce is really bad in this matchup. And that's a tilt.
Drew another Spell Pierce. Got him, boys. Got him on the ropes.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. I was going to do this turn, but now I'm inclined to do this first. That seems rather poor. I think I'll be able to find a way to use this. So I'll go to 13, all these shocklands. I'll play my Nahiri. I'll plus pitching Emrakul. So I resolve the ability first, then the Emrakul trigger will resolve. And now I'm not going to chump block with the click, so I might as well attack. 17. Right. Hopefully Todd does not have 2 more Noble Hierarchs.
What about a Falcon Wrath Aristocrat? Is that good?
Yeah, that is good.
I kind of just want to attack him. I can actually hit Nahiri for 4 or 5, and then hit Ross for the other chunk. But getting the Nahiri off the table, I think, is a little more important at this juncture, just because it can slowly start to dominate a game. This does open him up to being able to play a second Nahiri to exile either of my creatures, but I think I'm okay if he spends another turn just doing that.
This isn't going well. That was not particularly good.
We have to be really careful with Falcon Wrath Aristocrat. Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, not Falcon Crat Snap. Whatever I said. I don't know.
So we're certainly casting this timely. I go to 19. We were not prepared. These are soldiers.
All right.
I'm passing the turn after that.
Okay. Well, he's got a lot of chump blockers for the Anafenza now. Now what to do? I'm going to start off here with a Birds of Paradise. Now, I'm playing this because I potentially want to sacrifice it to Aristocrat as opposed to the Anafenza to keep it protected from the click. But I am going to declare attacks and target this with Anafenza.
Anafenza's trigger is fine. And now that I'm at 19, I think I don't want to trade my click for a bird. I think I can end up setting up something better. I am also trying to set this up for next turn, potentially. Maybe I should just double block here. I mean, if Todd has a path, then sure, I end up losing some stuff, but that's probably best, actually. Yeah, I'll double block there.
All right. Well, that's good news for me because it probably means that he doesn't have a path to exile, which I was rather afraid of for a minute. I'm fine trading these off, I think. I don't really want to do anything, but now I
got
actually
13.
leaves me in a spot where I'm not sure what to do with the rest of my hand. I can play another creature, but there's a decent chance he has a mana leak because he still has 2 cards in hand and doesn't have a removal spell. So I think I'm fine just saying go.
Okay. And step, I'll go to 12. Finding another Hallowed Fountain. And we'll see what we can do from there. Or, I guess there's only one Hallowed Fountain. We'll find a Sacred Foundry. Usually it's 2/2/1 in these lists.
I think it's marginal. Like, you're not playing a ton of cryptics or anything, right?
No. And they have Colonnade too, so
yeah,
it makes sense. I just want another white source. And okay, that's pretty good. I will attack for 2.
Go to 15 to 12.
Yep. I'll play a Scalding Tarn and I'll pass.
All right. Not really sure what to think here. I think I'm fine just playing this waiting game since we are fairly far ahead. Let's attack for 6.
Path it.
I'll try to spell Queller. I'm going to use my bird as my initial mana just so that I can make sure it doesn't get killed in response and then I run into something like mana leak later.
Yeah, go to 6.
All right, so he's on the clock here. And luckily, Spellqueller actually exiles too, so a Snapcaster Mage doesn't actually do it for him.
There's no Shocklands left in my deck, so I might as well just leave this fetch uncracked. 6.
Every point of life could matter as well.
Yeah. That is something that people underrate when playing fetch lands in their deck.
So, important thing to note, Pillar Payrunes and Ziggurat, neither of those can pay for Mana Leak. So, if you are playing against a deck that does have counterspells like Mana Leak, it's best to make sure you use these. I'll block 1. I can't think of a 2 damage spell that I'm really concerned with. So, we'll go to 14. I assume this means like Anger of the Gods or something.
Snapcaster?
Snap Timely.
Timely?
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm actually fine with that, yep. And then I'm going to Spellqueller the Timely. Because that leaves him with 1 mana up, so he can't Mana Leak if that's what he did have.
Okay, back here for game 2 on the play again. A pretty similar hand to last time. A little bit better, actually, with this card. And so I'm going to keep.
My side, we mulliganed a 1-land Bird of Paradise hand on the draw into this 6. Basically, since we already know the matchup, keeping a hand that's like pretty dependent on Birds of Paradise, I think it's foolish. On top of that, we actually just had a ton of 3-drops, so if I didn't draw land, I was actually just stone dead. This hand is a bit more reasonable, although I definitely want at least 1 mana source. And on top with the Scry, we have 1, so we'll keep.
Okay, I'll crack Tarn for an island and play Serum Visions. I'm at 19.
And this time, him fetching for an island can also mean a lot. For one, that leads me to believe that there's not very many copies of Lightning Helix in this deck. But he also could just have a couple dual lands in hand already.
Okay, so this was a fine draw, and we definitely want to have this one on top. The question is whether we want this one, and I think we do. It's definitely a deck that wants to make a good number of land drops, so I'll keep them both.
Go.
I'm at 19. Ancient Ziggurat, go.
That's better than Reflecting Pool, go.
Sulphur Falls, Suspend Ancestral.
All
you
right.
can go.
No Spell Snare, please.
Yeah, voice is fine. Okay. I will.
Pass it on my upkeep?
Don't think I'm going to do that.
Tilt.
Got a good number of options. I think I want to set this up for next turn, so for now I'm just going to go to 17 and click away my this crappy Spell Pierce.
All right.
You can go.
I really want to draw a 3-drop creature this turn. Mostly just because I don't want to get smushed by Nahiri. But I think I have to attack.
I think I'm certainly fine just trading resources.
All right. Get an elemental and say go.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Once again, not prepared. Ancestral down to 2. And interesting. So I can do a lot of stuff.
It's a green-white elemental, but not the right one. All right, whatever.
I could cash this in now, but with the Ancestral coming down, I think I just want to answer as many threats as I can. So I'm just going to play a Flooded Strand and pass the turn.
All right, so this is a 1/1. We'll do this.
Does not have elementals?
Just not the right one.
Come on.
All right. No Nahiri is pretty good for me, though, but he could have a lot of stuff. We want to lead off with playing a spell. It's fine, man. I just look.
Jeez.
All right, we're going to try a Siege Rhino, which I'm assuming is going to get countered.
No, that resolves.
All right.
14-23.
And I'll attack for 2.
I'll path the Siege Rhino.
All right, so you take 1, and I'll go get a forest.
I'm at 13.
Here you go.
Go to 12. And this will get our Hallowed Fountain. What a mana base you got over there.
Yeah, it's dope.
Got 4 cards in hand?
Yep.
That's a lot. Ancestral down to 1. And that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Serum Visions?
Yep.
And neither of these cards looks to be good, so we'll bottom both. And play this land tapped and pass.
Alright, try another Siege Rhinoceros.
Yeah, I'm at 9, you're at 26.
Play Noble. Declare tax.
Yeah.
Attack for 4.
I will snap path the Siege Rhino.
Okay.
And then I'll take 3. I go to 6.
Oh yeah, I don't have any more.
Yeah.
Your go.
I'll Ancestral myself.
Yeah. This is where the Jeskai deck really starts to get churning.
Draw for turn.
If it can survive to the point where it can resolve Ancestral, it's usually in a great spot. Weather the storm, as it were.
I'll bolt the Elemental. And pass the turn.
Wally didn't have a threat as a follow-up.
Yeah, still not in great shape here.
Try voice.
Yeah, that resolves.
All right, so now we're basically safe to do some stuff on our turn without fear of repercussion. I'm going to try to decay this. Don't have a ton of targets for it. I'm going to attack for 1.
G5.
Small chance I get angered, I suppose, but I can't just sit on Noble Hierarch beatdowns.
Path the voice.
Okay.
And I think I just want to cash this in now. I want to find a way to close out this game. I'm going to flashback Serum Visions. And don't think I want either of those. And I'm going to Serum Visions again.
Okay.
That's a good one. And once again, don't want either of those. So both on the bottom. You can go.
Attack for 1. Try to play this.
Yep.
All right, your go.
I'm at 5.
That's what I got.
Okay. That was very good. I'll play Nahiri. I'll plus discard the Spell Pierce. And I'll Snap Path this thing.
Yeah, this is the part where
You can go.
it's like a huge uphill battle.
Possible I should have tried to Snap Bolt on the attack to play around top deck Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, but yeah, that then I still didn't have access to removal for Aristocrat, so interesting. I think I'm going to Serum Visions first, so I can use Nahiri to gain access to the cards I scry into. Normally, I'd want to just see the most possible cards, but in the late stages of the game, that changes. And I think, yeah, that's just going to end up being great. I'm going to leave them both on top. And then I'll plus discarding Flooded Strand.
Okay.
You can go. These two in combination just stop anything.
Actually, I should probably 3/7. No, I shouldn't attack. I think the mana is actually more important than.
Okay, well, I'm going to cash this in. Certainly makes our hand that much better.
All right,
I'm at 5.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll attack with both and Annihilator.
All right, so I'm going to end up at 9, and then I'm going to sacrifice. I can keep the Noble Hierarch, but yeah, I think I actually should keep the Noble Hierarch. So we'll keep Pool, Ziggurat, Noble, and then go to 9.
This goes upstairs. You can go.
Attack.
I'm at 4.
Go.
Instead, Bolt, Snap Bolt.
Yep. All right, I'll start. Mine's pretty short and sweet. Removal is kind of bad in this matchup. He really only has like Vendilion Click or Celestial Colonnade or whatever to target. Maybe Snapcaster Mage, but not things that I actually care about. Like those creatures mostly just like double block to trade or chump block, and the bodies aren't all that relevant. So we're going to be boarding out all our removal and 2 Kasali Pride Mage. I don't expect a lot of stuff like Blood Moon or whatever from his deck. So we're going to be trimming these since they're kind of just a 2/2 for 2 that gives Exalted. The other ability is not relevant. Going to be bringing in a slew of creatures, a lot of one-ofs, but a few of these have a couple copies in the main deck. We have 3 Queller main, so we're going to go up to 4. 1 Scholar main, we're also going to go up to 4. Sin Collector is basically just like a 5th Tidehollow Scholar, but it costs a little more, even though it exiles permanently. Sigarda, I'm not sure if it's actually good or not. I think it's good. If he ever taps out for Nahiri or something, especially if I'm on the play, I get to cast Sigarda without him being able to use a counterspell, which is pretty nice. I think Sigarda is great once it comes down. He really only has one way to get rid of it, since it has hexproof, which he is bringing the Wrath of God. But I think it's just insanely good otherwise. Yeah. And then Kitchen Finks Gaddock just... Yeah. 1 creature or another Kitchen Finks because it helps fight through stuff like Lightning Bolt, even though he has Path. And then Gaddock Tea because it can shut down some of his more expensive stuff. It's just another thing that it's like must kill.
Yep. And on my side, we're getting these crappy Spell Piercers out of our deck, and then Vendilion Click, whose only real purpose was to cycle away our crappy Spell Pierces, is now unnecessary. And we got a couple more Sweepers with another copy of Anger, this Engineer Explosives and Wrath, and then Celestial Purge, which targets significant number of creatures in Todd's
basically
deck.
All my big ones.
Yeah, almost all the big ones, and Tidehollow Scholar. Yeah, it gets Mantis Rider, Siege Rhino, Anafenza, and importantly Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, which is really tough for me to deal with. So I think Celestial Purge will end up being great. So just Todd brings in more creatures, I bring in more removal spells.
And we just keep on playing the same game.
Let's do it.
All right, we're here for game 3. I'm on the play after getting absolutely smushed last game. I think being on the play is kind of important. It helps make a lot of his stuff like Mana Leak a little worse. Him using Path to Exile early also lets me cast some of my bigger stuff a little earlier than I would normally be able to. This hand is pretty good. If our bird dies on the first turn, we're going to have a slow go of it, but hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and over here, got a good mix of lands and spells. Definitely going to keep. Okay, bird is going to live. I have a few options here. I could cast this now or wait on it and given that I'm not going to be able to kill the bird, I'm going to want to sort of sequence these cards. I think I just want to get the Colonnade out, so...
All right. Well, I think we want to use our mana as efficiently as possible. Getting Voice into play is good, but casting Sin Collector on 2 is better.
Jeez, get put in the sin bin.
What you got?
I got some stuff.
Serum.
Which one you want?
Anger, Remand, Nahiri, and 3 land, whatever. Probably going to take the Anger. It seems like the best card against our current hand.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Can't take the Nahiri.
Plus, if he doesn't want to... If he wants to hold up Remand next turn, then he's not going to be able to play Serum Vision. That's going to take him slightly off curve.
Tilt. Okay, given that we currently do not have an answer to that voice, I am inclined to just cycle this Remand on it.
All right, so you're going to go to 19 or 17?
I'm going to go to 19 and get an island.
Okay. So he's going to draw a card off the Remand, and then... Now I have a slightly tougher choice. I think it's just fine to recast the voice. He doesn't have Cascade Bluffs or anything like that, so he can't anger us next turn, even if he draws one. And we'll smush for 2. So 17 to 19.
Yep.
And sure go.
Okay. This is not going great for our heroes.
Everyone's a hero of their own story, Ross.
That's true. I'm going to crack this, go to 16. I will get a Montagna. Where is it? Where'd you go? There you go. I'm going to tap this island and cast the Serum Visions. Hopefully find something great.
Hopefully you main phase a bolt on my Voice of Resurgence. I'm sure that'll work out great. Right?
It'll work out better than what I've been doing.
Spinning wheels.
That's pretty good. So I am inclined to keep both of these. Yeah, both on top. And I will pass the turn.
Going to have a much easier turn if we draw land. We did not. I really don't want to open myself up too badly to Nahiri by attacking with the voice. But I think it's okay. Like, I really want to do this, but it doesn't really accomplish all that much. Deal some damage. Makes life hard for him, I guess. And if he mana leaks, we get a voice token. So, all right, we'll take one.
You get 18.
I'm going to try for a Falcon Wrath. Like I said earlier, we kind of just want to use our mana as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, that resolves.
All right. Whoop ya.
I'm at 16 right now.
Yep.
So I could cast this right now, give Todd a 4/4. God, 4/4 is so big. So next turn, we will be able to kill it. We can leave Todd with just the voice in play, and then hopefully be able to set up Nahiri on the following turn. And I think if we just take this 8, our mana is going to be too constrained, so I'll purge the Aristocrat.
All right, so we get a... I'm going to sag it to itself, I guess. I don't know if there's a reason for it to be in the graveyard, but...
I go to 12.
Graveyard seems better than exile. Yep. Here you go.
And I will bolt the Sin Collector and then snap bolt the Elemental.
All right.
You can go.
House is crumbling down.
You got 4 in hand?
I do.
It's lucky.
I really want to draw land. Alright, we'll just do this.
Ugh.
Go to 17, and then I think I'm fine attacking with both. If he taps out for a Nahiri next turn to exile Voice, I'm fine with that. And if he trades, then I'll have untapped creatures. And he can exile Bird, but that's not a huge deal. So we'll attack for 5.
And Mantis Rider was quite good there. I'm not going to be able to let my Nahiri live if I block, so I just have to take 5. I'm at 7.
Here you go.
Okay, I'm going to crack this fetch, go to 6.
Okay.
An island. Play Serum Visions. Definitely want that one. The land can go on the bottom. And I'm gonna plus.
Okie doke.
You can go. I should have Nahiri'd first. I thought that the Serum Visions might change my play, but I'm certainly going to Nahiri there. And that's a situation where I want a Nahiri plus and then Visions, so I just see the most cards. Because I don't have the mana to leverage the cards immediately.
I'm going to attack you for 4.
I go to 2.
Here you go.
I will plus discarding Colonnade.
Okay.
So now I can use Colonnade to block Mantis Rider and trade that way. Which I am inclined to do. I will pass.
I'll try to play a Spell Queller. Taking 1 down to 16. Since he's at 2 and he has a Colonnade to block, I basically just want to put another 2-power flyer into play, so he has to deal with both of them. He could potentially go for Activate Colonnade plus Path.
And yep.
But we have some ways around that. Right, we'll start with the Sculler.
And yeah, Scholar will do it. I had the path.
Yeah, so basically if I Sculler him, he has the path before he activates Colonnade, which means he's not going to have the mana to activate and block. So
yeah. Okay, here for game 4, and I have a reasonable hand again. Good mix of lands and stuff. Hopefully we find a way to use this card, which would otherwise be quite poor, but definitely going to keep.
My side, we mulligan another 1-land bird hand into this 6. The actual previous hand was actually worth talking about. If it were like a combo matchup, I would have 100% kept because I had 2 Tidehole Scholars in my hand, but even still, my only land was Gemstone Mine, so I only get 3 spells out of it, including the bird, so it was a little risky. This one is a little bit better, but hopefully we draw a land. And there it is again. All right.
She's so lucky.
That's what scries are for, man. All right. Here we go.
I'm going to find a blue-white land. That one I keep fetching. Hell Fountain, that's it.
A lot of times when we were playing with the fetch battle lands in Standard, I just like forgot the name of them every now and then, which is like search for blue-white or search for black-blue.
Yeah, I still don't know the name of the Shadowlands. They're so bad.
Game Trail, Prairie Stream. Nope, Prairie Streams. Never mind. I'm not even going to try. They are real bad. Port Town. That's the blue-white.
Scalding Tyrant Pass.
Not sure what's going on his side, so I'm just going to pass.
Not sure what's going on. I'm just playing lands. I'm a control deck.
I know,
That's
but you haven't played Serum Visions, you haven't suspended Ancestral. Anything like that would have maybe put me under a little more pressure to just like play stuff. But right now I'm basically, you know, in the driver's seat.
In the driver's seat, you have a bird in play that doesn't even do anything.
No,
I'm at 18.
I have one more mana than you. You're at 18.
Yeah, 2 fetches. Okay. Are you happy now?
Yes, but not for the same reasons you're happy. Path it, path it, path it, path it. Rats. All right, attack.
I'll path it.
I already have my force, though. That really stinks, but
Yeah,
I don't think I
got
want to do the other thing right
Cast
now.
Visions.
So you cast Visions.
And these are interesting. Kind of want to dig towards something a bit more substantial. Not really concerned with the bird in play. So I think I'm just going to bottom both.
All right, play this thing. Exile your Emrakul.
Which removal spell would you like? I guess is... I guess
Purge.
Why?
Because
You already have your force symbol.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, go. I'm dumb. Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, that wasn't Nahiri like I wanted it to be, but
Yeah,
what are you going to do?
I couldn't have a perfect card.
I am actually going to snapcast this Serum Visions. Again, want to dig towards something like Nahiri. Have a Celestial Purge deal with something big. That's not too bad. Certainly don't want any more of them, so those can go to the bottom. I'm going to take 2 for a Steam Vents and Suspend Ancestral.
It's a good one.
16. So now I believe you know my entire hand.
You put both on bottom, right?
Yes. They were bad. Didn't want them. Don't need them. Got everything I have right here. Got my plan. 15 mana. Oh no.
Yeah. I kind of want to take the Emrakul, though. Tech for 2.
So I could not block to essentially take the Tidal Scarlet out of combat, but that just leaves a Sin Collector, so might as well just trade.
Here you go.
That at least prevents the first attack. Removal spell. You can go.
Did I know the Sacred Foundry?
Yes. So now you just know Emrakul X.
All right.
I'm going to show you the Emrakul so you can see it coming. Yeah, I'm at 10.
Go.
Just going to die with this Ancestral.
Yeah, that's how it always works.
You can go.
All right. Well, now I feel very safe. So we can actually use the Gemstone Mine if we want to before we play our Razorverge Thicket, or we can just play it tapped.
Probably want to tap your Reflecting Pool before you tap your Gemstone Mine, though.
Well, not if I need to use all my mana. Like, if I wanted my Razorverge Thicket to come and play untapped. I mean, it could just go for the kill, I guess. The odds of that working are kind of small. I know you have an Emrakul. He didn't kill anything last turn. And we kind of put him in the headlock with a Spell Queller, so we'll just do this.
I'm at 4.
Here you go.
You can go.
All right, well, hopefully we draw a land, and then it's just 100% dead. Oh, wait, no. I'm one short of that because I didn't play my Noble Hierarch because I'm stupid. All right, let's hope Spellcaller's good enough. Attack.
Well, I mean, you know one of my cards is Emrakul. The other one just gets Spellcallered.
Yeah, but what if it's like a Murderous Cut and I can't spell Queller it.
I can't cast Murderous Cut.
Well, you know, I got to play around everything.
Sure.
You got a fetch land.
Back here for game number 5, and a pretty similar hand. Deck has very consistent openers from what I've seen. Just lands and removal spells. Keep.
Yeah, me too. My hand is a little more dense on mana than I'd like, but I think that's kind of the nature of this deck when you play, 8 mana creatures. We'll start off with this one.
Ooh. Play that one tapped and suspend this one.
That's a good one.
Nice to have an ancestral early.
Attack for 4.
That's pretty good. I'm at 16.
Here you go. I'm sure it's just going to die, just like everything else.
Pass.
Ooh. What do I want to do? Don't want to get hit by Wrath of God. I guess this is the tester. We can do this first. Attack for 4.
12.
Oh, man. All right.
9 to 23.
Here we go.
Go to 8.
Just going to go ahead and scoop these up. There ain't no way. The Wrath of God's not getting cast. There's no way you kept a hand that didn't do that. All right, so you're at 8.
Yep. You can go.
Fine. Aristocrat. And all right. And fine. 22. Might need the man to play around a mana leak or something, but
Path the Voice.
fine.
You can go.
22 to 8.
Yep.
All right, that's Ancestral Looming.
Feeling pretty good about this one so far.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm sure your hand's like Snap, Path, Bolt, or something. Just has me 18 ways. Even Snap Wrath of God's pretty good if you have another land, which you'll probably draw off the Ancestral. And you even have Lighthouse. Let's see if this works.
Remand.
Take 1. I'm at 21.
Resolves.
Attack for 5.
Purge it.
I'll sacrifice it to itself. Here we go.
I'll draw 3. Draw for turn.
This is not looking great.
Okay. Now, how do we lose this game?
I'm going to go with 3 Siege Rhinos off the top.
I'll go to 7.
Now a Mantis Rider and a Siege Rhino. That'll get you.
I'll play Nahiri.
Yup.
I will plus this Nahiri, discarding this other Nahiri.
Wow. That's got to be real bad for me.
I will
Backups on Nahiri.
pass the turn.
Whoop.
Change my play a little bit.
You.
Just want to keep myself out of double Rhino range.
24 to 4.
Yep.
All right. Here go.
Um.
Boy, this is getting close. Maybe I can get 1 damage in and then get lucky on another Rhino.
And step all path that thing.
I'm at a lot of life. I can't really afford to sacrifice 6 permanents, though.
That was a pretty good draw, surprisingly. I'll Serum Visions.
Yep. If you cast Timely Reinforcements, I'm going to throw up.
And I think I like both of those, so we'll keep them both. I'll plus, discard this. I'll cast this Timely, gain 6, get 3 guys.
Did you draw a card off your discard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you did. All right. You're at 10. I don't think I can win anymore.
You can go.
Whoop. All right, play that. Here we go.
I'll path that guy.
Man, just has it all.
I'll cash this one in. Get my Emrakul. Everything's coming up Millhouse. Bash for 18, you sack 6 permanents.
Nah, I'm just going to concede.
Yeah, I have Mana Leak and
I don't care what you
Snapcaster.
have. I don't have any permanents in play. I have a bird or a land. And you have 3 guys, and I would be at 6. So we're just going to call that one a day. Calling it a day. All right, well, that was a pretty interesting match, truth be told. I felt like the Jeskai deck showed off exactly what it does best, which is kill stuff and try to resolve Ancestral, and eventually try to pivot to a point where Nahiri can close the game. And that happened twice to plan, and then the other 3 times you were really close, but my draws were just a little too good thanks to Spell Queller.
Yeah, Spell Queller was certainly the card that just locked up the game once you were ahead. Like, I would use a couple of removal spells early, have 1 to 2 more in the bag, you would continue with your threats, and by then you'd have enough mana to play a threat, hold up Spell Queller, Queller my last removal spell, and then I was left basically hoping that the top 1 or 2 cards in my deck were good, otherwise I was just dead.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway here is that the sweeper cards like Wrath of God, Anger, even Supreme Verdict are going to be really good against this deck. Really important to note is that Spell Queller actually stops Supreme Verdict.
Yes.
Which is pretty great.
Because it exiles a spell, gets around the can't be countered clause. I think the reality is in Modern, you have a bunch of great mana creatures and more powerful threats than you do in Standard that can close the game out more quickly. And Spell Queller is a card that really rewards you for being able to do those things. Get a little bit ahead, force your opponent to play reactively, and then get that little bit extra ahead. And in that window that you've now generated of 2 turns basically of advantage, you can end the game before they can recover.
Yeah, it's not like we even saw Spell Queller really be like all that dominant, but in the games where I had it in hand, I just knew that I could play in a certain way where I couldn't lose.
Yeah.
And I think that is the important takeaway, because you want to get to a spot where you can play something that puts pressure on your opponent and then have Spell Queller back up. You don't really want to just naked Spell Queller targeting a removal spell, for example.
You don't want to use it early as this sort of pseudo tempo spell, because they're going to regain that tempo once they kill the Spell Queller later in the game. It's a perfect nail in the coffin. Yeah,
it's so good when the game is getting really close to finishing. But overall, I think the 5-color aggro deck, Michael Kinney's version, was pretty, I don't know, straightforward. Not a lot of bells and whistles, just a lot of really efficient, powerful creatures that just kind of forces your opponent to interact with them. And luckily, a lot of those creatures also have abilities that naturally can disrupt things. Like Anafenza can shut down the Dredge deck that won the last classic.
Or like Goryo's Vengeance decks.
Right.
And then also stop the Abs and Company combo.
Yeah, and you have access to stuff like Tide Holoskuller and Sin Collector and Spell Queller to help out against various combo decks.
Voice of Resurgence against counter spells. You got all these cool disruptive creatures. And normally the sacrifice you'd be making is in the mana base, but there are just so many good 5-color lands in Modern.
Yeah, and if you notice, I actually didn't take very much damage from my land, so I think this deck might even naturally be good against like Burn, which is great.
Yeah, you probably took.
I have Mana Confluence. There was one game where I took 3 damage from a Mana Confluence.
Yeah.
And then every other game I just had great mana.
Yeah, for Modern, that is incredible.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Jeskai deck a little bit. Any changes you would make to this version? You talked a lot about wanting to get a second Hallowed Fountain. How do you think that would really affect things?
There was a situation where I wanted to get it, but it wasn't appreciably better than Sacred Foundry, and I assumed just having 4 Shock Lands is better. It's pretty typical Jeskai. This list had a bunch of Spell Pierces, which were worse in this matchup. Was able to side them out, get some sweepers in, be a little bit better position post-board.
Yeah, I actually think this is a perfect time for Spell Snare, not Spell Pierce. Even in the Delver deck I played at the Classic at SCG Vault, I was playing 2 copies of Spell Snare and no copies of Spell Pierce, because I think Spell Snare is just unbelievably good right now. Just against most decks, it just is going to have a great target, whether that's Tarmogoyf, Voice of Resurgence, Goryo's Vengeance.
Dark Confidant.
Yeah, it's just going to have a great target, and Spell Pierce just has diminishing returns. It makes it so that, if your opponent plays a creature that is disruptive, or if they just play a creature that can brick wall you, Spell Pierce doesn't really help against that. Whereas Spell Snare can disrupt creatures as well as non-creature spells, which is kind of great.
I'm a big fan of Spell Snare as well, so I could definitely see incorporating some Spell Snares into the deck. Definitely would have helped out against Voice of Resurgence. That card definitely puts the Jeskai deck in a lot of tight spots. If you don't have, even if you have a removal spell in your hand for it, even if you have Path to Exile, you can't use the mana that you left up on your opponent's turn. And so them getting to play their thing, you have to react to it, trade 1-for-1 on resources, but it also blanked maybe 1, 2, even 3 mana that you've left up. It is that is really critical, especially in a matchup like this, a deck that is so good at taking advantage of those tempo gains and just getting in an extra attack step because of it. That extra 4 damage will close out a game really easily.
All right, so unlike Ross Merriam last week, I'm not going to gloat about winning other than saying, I beat you. The end.
Todd's just going to gloat off camera so that you don't see it, and then he gets to take the moral high ground.
No, I'm not a fan of moral high grounds. I like to get in the mud,
just
man.
Right here, just knuckle under.
All right, well, this weekend we do have SCG New York, a.k.a. SCG Syracuse. So,
a.k.a. SCG Dinosaur Barbecue.
Yeah, Dinosaur Barbecue, great place to eat. It's nearby. They have phenomenal food, and it's just fun. Yeah. The inside is just great.
Can we get them on the potential sponsor list for the SCG tour?
Ooh,
I don't think Patrick has disparaged them on camera, so we're safe there.
No, Patrick loves Dinosaur Barbecue.
Yeah, exactly. So we're in great shape. This is perfect. They're in the minority.
So we're gonna have Ryan Overturf and Matthias Hunt bringing you guys 15 rounds of Swiss, followed by 3 rounds of top 8 of Modern Action. I'm gonna be there. You gonna be there?
Yeah.
No, he's not going to be there because I'm driving, and I get to pick who's in my car. I might let him come with me because I beat him today, but if he had beat me and started gloating, then
I might have to ride in the trunk.
Yeah, take the bus.
That's a long bus ride up to Syracuse.
Yeah, it is. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be all for me and Ross Merriam this week. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Ross Hunnids, at Ross Hunnids.
At Ross Hunnids.
At Ross Hunnids. I'm strong_sad. We're going to be probably tweeting all about the tournament and stuff, and yeah, it should be a good time.
Yeah, and tweeting about barbecue.
Yeah, also taking pictures of food like I'm some New York fellow. I don't know.
People from...
I thought people from up north always took pictures of the food.
You are definitely not versed in the ways of the North.
I already told you that. I know.
We've now revealed that to be true.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later this week.